national anthem of Ghana. Continue with the national anthem of Canada, please. We keep standing and invite Pastor Dankwa to lead us in a Christian prayer, to be followed by a Muslim prayer. Pastor Dankwa? Madam Hussein, Kadri, you can come forward, please.
Shall we bow down our heads as we bring this gathering before the Almighty God, who has made it possible that we in the diaspora will come to meet with our President, His Excellency Nana Akufo. It is a great honor and a privilege that we should meet him to speak and discuss issues with him. But before then, I would like us to bring this service, this gathering, to the presence of Almighty God. Father, we thank you and we acknowledge your presence, for you have declared, when 2 or 3 have gathered in my name, there I am in their midst. We thank you for this gathering this day that you've brought our President, His Excellency, to meet with his people in the diaspora, that we will know what's going on back home, and that we will also know how best to help. You who have made all these things possible, from the beginning you have brought us afar to this place. And now this day you have ordained it for us that we should gather. We thank you for the presence of all those who are here. We thank you for the presence of all the dignitaries who are here, His Excellency and his entourage, the representative of the Clergy Association, Nanano, and all those who are here. We pray that your Spirit will permeate the atmosphere and bring everything to a successful end. And when everything has come to its climax, Lord, we shall not forget to give you all the glory and the honor, for you deserve all. In Jesus' name we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. So let's hear them.
In your wisdom, you have placed upon His Excellency Nana the great responsibility and honor. O Allah, please help him with your guidance and your light. O Allah, grant him and his team the will and means to improve the well-being of all inhabitants of this great nation and beyond. I conclude my prayers with recitation from the Quran. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين Amen. May Allah bless you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, madam. May now take our seats. May I please have the indulgence of the media men, the cameramen. You may want to free up this space. Thank you very much. The media men free up this space. And it is time now for the SDA Youth Pathfinders display. May we welcome them with an applause.
Pathfinders, attention! Ready, back! Pathfinders, present arms. Order, arms. Pathfinders, salute to the right, salute. Salute to the left, salute. Squad, about, turn. Pathfinders, present arms. Order, arms. Pathfinders, saluting to the right, salute. Salute to the left, salute. Squad, about, turn. Pathfinders, right, turn. Squad. 2 pace forward, move. 2 pace forward, move. Pathfinders, about, turn. By the left, quick, Mars, squad, RLS. Squad, halt. Pathfinders, about, turn. Squad, suspension of arms, move. Pathfinders, West Side, California, roll. Squad, halt. Pathfinders, sequence of turns. Left turn, right turn, about turn, present arms, squad, move. Squad, order, arms. Pathfinders, about, turn. Pathfinders, fancy, dismiss. One. Jump squad, by left, dismiss.
Thank you very much. Let's applause them. Let's applause them. That's fantastic. Thank you very much, NTA Pathfinders. You really ushered us to the real deal. Now, I'm going to call on the President of the Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario. That is Mr. Emmanuel Gobu. We welcome him. Your Excellency, President Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Your Excellency, Mr. Akufo-Addo, High Commissioner of Ghana to Canada, Honorable Mr. Thomas Seshi, Consul General of Toronto, members of the Presidential Delegation, and our Architecture, Usu and San every year, the Ochini and the Ochini Delegation.
The Presidents and large, representatives of Canadian governments, the President Executives of NDP chapter in Canada, President and Executives of the Canadian Association of Ontario, Yime, Nane, Tagbeu, Mamau, Nananum, distinguished invited guests, friends of the media, fellow Canadians, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome the President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, as well as all of you present here, to this special town hall meeting. As some of you are aware, several applications have been received. 6 months of assuming office, the President, under his patronage, organized a diaspora homecoming. The next homecoming is sometime this year in July. He has also made several appointments from the diaspora to his government. He has appointed 2 honorary consuls, one for the city of Calgary and the provinces of Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and the other for the city of Edmonton, all in aid of taking away and minimizing the drudgery of applying for visas and other consular services. For the Toronto office, he approved the acquisition of a new chancery, a 3-story at Woodbine, which we will be moving in very soon. We have increased the fleet of vehicles as well here. His Excellency is supporting the approval of online passport applications. So it will be a thing of the past, downloading before sending it. We have revived our website, and we are now always in contact with the diaspora community. The Consul General, you will all attest, has been attending all your functions. I have in like manner visited almost all the Ghanaian communities everywhere they are found. I would like to remind you once again to reflect on the diaspora bond and let me know your willingness to participate in that program, which I keep talking about. Finally, I would be remiss not to mention that we are still making, we are not making a lot of headway in the registration of Ghanaians living in Canada, in spite of our most persevering endeavors. Please note that knowing who you are and your skill set will enable His Excellency to appoint you to serve in this government. So please register now in your own interest. On that note, let me now quickly introduce the President's entourage. Honorable Charles Oredu is the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs. Nana Bediato is the Secretary to the President. Mr. Francis Asenso Boachi is the Deputy Chief of Staff. Ambassador Ahmed Hassan is the Director of State Protocol. Mr. Eugene I is the Director of Communications. Mr. Michael Oforiata, Director of Regional Integration. Mr. Aliu Fawaz, Assistant Secretary President. Nabada Tiasulimana, Presidential Staffer. Mr. Hilary Dankwa, Presidential Staffer. Ms. Nadia Musa, Deputy Director, Diaspora. Elvis Obani Ajay, Deputy Director. Mr. Joseph Ajay, Protocol Officer. Mr. Richmond Tabiri, Dennis Na Odua Ajay, MD, PI. Mr. Pajo Anai, Shwebe. Mr. Francis Plate, Communication. Ms. Cynthia Efando. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's welcome His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President.
Everybody move from here. I'm going, I'm leaving. My camera is there. Please move. Either you go back or you just
the media radio.
Please come back.
Officials of the presidency, Ghana's Consul General to Toronto, President of the Ghana Association, the Executive, Chairman of the Association of the Clergy, Nanano, Nime, W, Serkin Zongo, Chief of the Law, Name, Naimadum, Mamao, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. On the 20th of May, secretary wrote to the association, the Canadian associations and churches about your invitation for me to come and join you on the 17th of September. Unfortunately, I cannot make it on that day. But the letter indicated that I've been invited by Prime Minister Trudeau to participate in a conference in Dankwa tomorrow. So we put our heads together and decided that why don't I stop off on this Sunday to come and meet with you here. And I'm really happy that I did. Everywhere I go, I try to meet the Ghanaian community. A lot of the times, the chiefs are there, and the queen mothers and everything. But I have to confess that the pageantry here today is very tremendous exhibition of Ghanaian pageantry. First of all, I have to thank the President of the Ghanaian Association for the strong words of encouragement and appreciation and commendation of the things that my government has been trying to do since we came into office. It's not been easy these 2.5 years, largely because our inheritance was not a very good one. There's not very many around, and we have to start almost from ground zero. But then I don't complain. I state it as a matter of fact, not as a complaint, because I asked for it and I got it, so I have to get it. So I have to get on with it and not complain. So we've been trying these 2.5 years to do some basic things to get our country going again. What are the pillars of the country that really matter? Its educational system, its health system, its economic system in terms of industry, and both the Secretariat and the Ministry for Trade are working. I'm very confident that by the time that we have to report ourselves the day of reckoning, December 2020, we would have made a very good effort to cover all the 260 districts of the country. Most of them are agro-processing ventures, enhancing our agricultural resources and scaling up the value of what we're doing. It's very, very important that we succeed in that venture, because we can't continue to be a raw material exporting country. We cannot continue down that road. It will not bring us the prosperity that we need in this 21st century. We have to scale up value addition of everything that we're doing in Ghana. That's why I'm very encouraged about the agro-processing activities that are going on in the country. Apart from that, we're also making now a systematic effort to develop some of our strategic industries. Ever since the First Republic in Kwame Nkrumah's time, we have tried to find a way to develop our bauxite resources. That was the agreement that he made with Edgar Kaiser. They and the World Bank would finance the development of a hydroelectric facility, which became the Akufo-Addo Dam. And for the cheap power that comes from the hydro, it would finance, it would enable our bauxite to be extracted and the smelter in thermal use to transform it into alumina, and then from alumina to aluminium. Nkrumah did his part. The dam came, but the Kaiser people were not able to do their part. So our bauxite is basically still in the ground. Well, the time has come to bring it up to the surface. So we have what I think is quite an ingenious arrangement to raise the money. We've entered into an agreement, which I'm sure you've heard about by now, with a big Chinese company called Akufo-Addo. They're interested in the development of our bauxite resource. But this time around, we said that we're not going to be interested in exporting our raw bauxite. That is behind us. From now on, everything we do with our resources is going to be with value added. So the agreement we made with Akufo-Addo is that in consideration of $2 billion of funds that will be provided to us, it's a barter agreement. We will then provide them with aluminum products. The arrangement has given us a 3-year moratorium on paying on supplying them, which is there to enable us to establish our bauxite industry. So we've now founded a statutory corporation, the Ghana Integrated Aluminum Development Corporation, which is putting together all the bauxite resources in the country for the establishment of refineries inside the country and the expansion of the smelter at Tema so that we can export in consideration to go forward. There are challenges in the education system from the beginning to the top. But we have done some very important, we've taken some important decisions. Like, for instance, kindergarten to class 6. A new curriculum is going to be unveiled in September. A curriculum that is going to focus on the basic matters, arithmetic, reading, writing, history. The young people should know. Go to school and speak to them and simple things they don't know about because the curriculum no longer finds it necessary to achieve it. We should know what has happened in our country. We should know what has happened in Ghana from the beginning, right up through the 19th century, the 20th century, up to our time. And our children should know it. They should know it. That's what tells them who they are as Ghanaians. I'm very proud to be a Ghanaian. And I never say So, those reforms have been made. Reforms are also going to be adopted at the tertiary level. And very soon, all of those are going to be unveiled for you to look at. We've made some significant improvements in our health delivery system. The crippling debt that we inherited, so 1.2 billion cedis of debt, by efficient planning, I took the decision to appoint an accountant to be our Minister of Health. I received some criticism from people at home. Everything I do has some criticism. I'm not too lazy about it. I don't mind. I prefer that than silence and just acquiescence. They said that no, I should have picked a professor, a professional doctor. I said no. My understanding is that the problem of the health service is a financial problem. How to sustain our national insurance authority and the scheme. And that it would be better to put a money man, a finance man there to work out how the scheme can be made sustainable. Well, the first thing he has done is that he has cleared the debt, the 1.2 billion of debt the National Health Insurance Scheme has been cleared. So now we're dealing with current arrears or current arrears. They are no longer part of the debt that we inherited. So to some extent, that has already justified the decision I made to appoint this accountant. Now he's working on how we can find a sustainable way to support the National Health Insurance Scheme and ultimately open up the possibility for us of universal health care in Ghana. That has to be our goal. And it will be done when we have a secure basis of the NHIS system. So these are some of the areas of concern for us. We have been dealing with many others, as I'm sure you know. But they are the fundamental ones that have engaged our attentions this morning. And in each of these areas, yes.
Hello.
One thing that I want to
What's the screen?
is that I am the first president of Ghana to live in the era of fake news. None of my predecessors lived in the era of fake news. They lived in the era of propaganda, but not fake news. Somebody is asking me why I have committed $1 million to the rehabilitation of Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, why I haven't thought about making contributions to Mozambique, and why do I do that? It's very simple. I have not done it. I haven't put not $1 of Ghana money has gone into and these are matters that can be very easily ascertained. The Controller and Accountant General is there in Accra, and he will tell you, when you go and ask him, that not $1, not 1 cent has been paid by Ghana for the reconstruction of Notre Dame. There are a lot of rich people in France. They can take care of their own Notre Dame much better than me. And as far as Mozambique is concerned, Mozambique, Malawi, and Zimbabwe, who have had these tragedies recently, we have, in fact, made a modest contribution of $250,000 each to each of those 3 countries as our contribution to the disaster. I've been asked about the implementation of ROPA. The Akufo government, of which I was a member, is the government that passed the ROPA law. So the commitment of my party and myself to the ROPA process is non-negotiable. It's fundamental. I'm all for it. Since it was passed, the Electoral Commission, then under the leadership of Dr. Afaritan, and subsequently Charlotte Hussein, made us to understand that they did not have the wherewithal to be able to implement the law. Ultimately, a group of frustrated diasporans took the matter to court, as far as the Supreme Court, and they got an order of the court that compelled the Electoral Commission to make sure that by 2020, ROPA was a reality. The current leadership of the Electoral Commission has established a task force that is going around both inside Ghana and ultimately they'll come here to see how they can work out the formula and the mechanics for being able to apply the ROPA. The application of ROPA has nothing to do with the executive. That is myself. I have no hand in the management of the electoral system in our country. Our Constitution has made it crystal clear that electoral management in our country is the exclusive preserve of the Electoral Commission. So whether or not she'll be in a position to tell us whether she will be able to apply it, as I speak about the chairperson of the commission, that one we have to wait and hear from her. But it's her exclusive preserve, and that had nothing to do with me. What I can do, what all of us can do, is contribute to the national discourse and let our views be heard. And I've done so 1 or twice to let them know that for myself, I think that if it is done for 2020, it's a good idea. But whether it will be the case is not something that I can determine. That one is something the Constitution has reserved to her, and we will see to what extent she will be able to deliver. One thing, though, which to me is significant, is the Ghana card. Our brothers and sisters from Togo, from Mali, from Senegal, from Cote d'Ivoire, from Niger, all of these, the Francophone states of West Africa, are able to incorporate their diasporan citizens into their voting processes for one very, very good and strong reason. They all have the carte d'identité. That has been a feature of the life of the Francophone states of West Africa right from the beginning. They have the carte d'identité, the identity card. So you take it to the electoral, the polling station, wherever you are, in France or Germany or something, and with that, you are then given the possibility of being able to vote. We are, for the first time, making a serious effort to have every Ghanaian own a Ghana card. For myself, I will be more comfortable when that process is complete and everybody inside Ghana and outside Ghana has the Ghana card. Then we are secure. We don't know that we're not opening ourselves up for any manipulation of our citizenship. Presently, the National Identification Authority has said that they will complete the domestic registration process by the end of this year. Let's keep our fingers crossed, pray with our Almighty that happens. And that next year is when it will be your turn. When everything works out. I believe he's been here already once, the executive secretary. He's been to Canada. He's gone to various communities in Canada. Am I right in saying that? Yeah. So next year will be your turn. God willing, he'll be able to complete his domestic arrangements this year. And next year will be your turn. When you're looking at Europa, don't forget that there's a big Ghanaian community also in West Africa. Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Liberia, Sierra Leone. All of these countries also have significant Ghanaian populations. So when you're looking at the Europa issue, it just doesn't concern you here in North America or Western Europe. There's also a big community of Ghanaians in West Africa who are affected. But that's what I can say for that. Yes, it's possible that within a month or two, we'll hear from the Minister for Aviation that we're going to re-establish a national airline. I was asked why we're pushing for French to be a second language instead of the local Ghanaian language, Twi. I don't think that so far there is agreement that Twi is the second language of Ghana. To my understanding, Efa is very strong, Ga is there, there are the languages of the North, Dabani, Mapule, etc. I think that at this stage in our history, just to pick up Twi as the second official language, there's a lot of politics involved in that we have to deal with first. And I'm not prepared to tread into those waters at the moment. That's why in a campaign like this, it's easier for me to speak to you in English. I can easily speak to you in Twi. I know there are people here who may not be able to understand what I'm saying, but they are Ghanaian. So we use the languages that are easy for all of us to identify with. And I believe that systematically over time, a language will emerge, which will be the national language of our country. And when that happens, we'll all embrace it and we'll be ready. There's not going to be any government involvement in the plan. One thing the government has done to assist is to provide them with some land on which the cathedral will be. That's it. But the monies to establish the cathedral is going to be from private. But when look at some of these things. I mean, recently, I'm not saying that this is a justification for it, but it provides you. Recently, the American president, the first George Bush, died. You saw the ceremony that for state occasions, we should have a state facility, not a facility, which can accommodate state events. I'm thinking of the National Cathedral. Apart from it being, I proposed it because I felt two things. That first of all, Almighty God has been good to Ghana. Despite all the challenges and the difficulties that we have had, some of the worst aspects of post-independence life in Africa has escaped us. We've never had civil war in Ghana. We have never had civil war in Ghana. Virtually all our neighbors, several important countries in the continent, have gone through the experience of civil war. And I thought that a gesture on our part, a gesture on the part of the Ghanaian people, thanking Almighty for where He has brought us, to me, is a justifiable occasion to do. I've spoken to you about some of the efforts we're making to bridge the infrastructural deficit in Ghana. There's 2 billion cedis from the Sino-Hydro agreement, in addition to what the Ghana government's own resources are, will give us a significant resource base in the 2 years ahead of us to be able to tackle some of the major which is essentially our rail and our roads. We had a good railway system at independence, limited, but nevertheless quite efficient. We let it go to pieces, and today the railway system is in disuse and disarray. Fortunately for me, I have this very young, vigorous minister who is determined to rehabilitate the railway system, and we are giving him maximum support to be able to rebuild the Eastern Line, the Western Line, and the Central Line. And very, very soon, you'll see activity in those areas begin. In the same way with our road system, the same way with the roads. The Sino-Hydro project is going to allow us to be able to deal with some of the essential road links in virtually all regions of our country. We cannot do all the roads that need to be done now, but some of the structural connections that have to be made are going to be made. And in this third quarter of 2029, we will begin to see them being rolled out. For myself, I'm very, very concerned about how we can also raise the money for feeder roads, because they are of major concern for our economy, especially in the cocoa growing areas. And the effort to do that is also ongoing. We made a lot of headway in the fight against galamsey. It's not going to be done overnight, but considerable effort has gone into it. It's even having some impact in terms of the pollution of some of our river bodies. But a lot of training has gone with some of the young men who are involved in small-scale mining. And generally, the people, the Interministerial Committee of Cabinet that are established to be able to come to grips with the galamsey, they're doing a good job. People are saying, what are we doing with the Chinese? We're arresting them. If you read the Ghanaian papers and listen to the radio, anytime we find any of them doing illegal work in the mining area, we're arresting them, and we will continue. China helps us, but that doesn't mean that the people can come and commit crimes without respecting our country. One of the difficult areas of our national life is the reform of our security agencies. You talk about the armed forces, you talk about the police, and the other agencies that help in maintaining law and order and protecting our country. Largely because there are so many areas of the reform process. The numbers. The police are, in the course of the next year, going to recruit 4,000 more policemen. You're talking about the equipment. We're doing our best now to provide them with minimum equipment, minimum mobility. But there's so much more that has to be done. We're talking also about, with the armed forces, issue once again of personnel and also of logistical equipment for them to be able, armored personnel carriers, sufficient ammunition, especially now that we're having problems on our northeast border because of the issues in Burkina Faso and the downward movement of the jihadists in West Africa. These are all very important measures we have to take. The money continues to be the problem, but the little that we can knock together, we're using it to try and strengthen them, and we're hoping that we'll be able, as the economy develops, to be able to find some more resources to be able to deal with the security sector reform. Import duties I was asked about. I was very surprised about this question because it's all over the country that we have reduced significantly import duties in Ghana. On the average, with vehicles, they've gone down 30%, and on the average, they've gone down 50% across the board as far as import duties are concerned. I'm hoping that this information, that I'm not the first to bring this information to Canada. I'd be very worried if I was the first, and that you have actually heard about this, that this is what is going on. The demand has been nationwide that we should do something about import duties as a way of trying to bring down the cost of living. I am a listening government. We heard it, and we have done something about it. It's no longer a matter for the future. It is something that has been done. A big problem for us continues to be this antiquated drainage system that we have, especially in Accra, which makes a big problem for us every time the floods, the rains come. It's a big problem for the country. And for years, it has been neglected. We've decided that we need to do something about it. Once again, this is an area where the monies are large. Dredging the Addo River, which I visited the other day, in itself, the contract for it is $67 million. It's a lot of money. Dredging the Addo, dredging the Addo. But we have to do it if we're going to try and keep a lid on the outflow of these floods. We've been able to pay something like $25 million in our time towards this contract to get the dredge master company working full-time in structural matters. We must also talk about our own habits. We have to talk about gratitude. We have a situation in our country, time and again, Ghanaians, we want this, we want that. But the attitudinal change that will enable us to be able to make and to bring value to these demands, that is always left out, up till today. Whilst as the river is being dredged, there are still people at home who, when the rains come, think that the easiest way to deal with dirt in their houses is to throw it down into the gutter. Those things have to come to a stop. We all have to speak to each other in Ghana to bring those things to a stop. Because if we don't, no matter the investment that we make, at the end of the day, we'll be back to square one. And I'm not prepared to spend your money in that way again. question was posed to me about the inertia of the Office of Special Prosecutor and the fight against corruption. Let me deal first of all with the Special Prosecutor. I don't speak for the Special Prosecutor. He's supposed to be an independent institution who operates independently of the executive and certainly of the judiciary. The person I chose to be the first Special Prosecutor is a person well known to all of you. The very responsible Ghanaian. I have no doubt about his determination in this matter. But one thing that all of us perhaps overlooked in our anxiety about the establishment of the office are all of these public sector regulations and rules about establishing a public office. It's taken longer than it should have done. But I think that we're at the end of the day, and I know that we'll hear from him when he's ready. The Attorney General in the meantime has not been idle. People are saying there's no prosecutions. 21 people are on trial in Ghana today. 21 are on trial in Ghana today for corruption. Corruption, what does it mean? Really, we keep using this word corruption. The simple word for corruption is stealing, is theft. And there are people on trial for it in Ghana as I speak today. But one of the things that I am not prepared to do under any conditions is to do away with due process. I'm not. I fought for it all my life in Ghana, that we would have a state in Ghana which recognizes and accepts and acknowledges due process as a fundamental instrument of state policy. That has been it. So if you put somebody before court, and that person is making application after application, whether it's to delay the process or whether the applications are genuine, you have to recognize the right to do it. And it is when those are exhausted, the trials can begin. Some of the trials have started. Those that were started, efforts were made to stymie them by going to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court dismissed those efforts, and the process is ongoing. Let us accept the judicial process as it is, work with it, knowing fully well that if tomorrow you are in trouble, you would also like to have due process applied to you. We're not going to have a situation where, for political reasons, due process is denied some people, but it is applied to other people. I will never, ever preside over Ghanaian state which does that kind of discrimination. So, it isn't, a lot is being done. Much more can be done. And much more is going to be made public to you in the not too distant future. But in the meantime, to say that somehow or other there's silence in this area and no work has been done. Some people have even gone so far to say that I am not prosecuting people because I myself have begun to. So I no longer. That is 1,000% away from the truth. And recognizing the laws of our country and making sure that those who are brought to court are given the proper treatment by the courts, and that at the end of the day, justice will be done to them and to the people of Ghana. I don't know, I think I've done a lot trying to answer the questions that you have. So you will give me the thank you very much indeed. I'm particularly happy that I came here in the month of Ramadan. They say that in the month of Ramadan, whatever you say goes straight up to the Almighty God. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Excellency. May we give him stronger applause for the wonderful statement he's made. I thought you were going to stand on your feet and give him an ovation. Thank you so much. Next on our item was going to be questions and answers first. As we know here, His Excellency the President has answered as many questions. He's very tired. On that basis, we move on to the next item, which is to sing together answers. We be on our feet as the DJ helps us to sing this song. Take your seat. Thank you, Excellency. We are coming to the end of this program. They are called on Mr. Shani Ope to give us with us thanks.